Hello everyone, it's me again, and I'm sorry if you hear music in the background. There's people playing music so loud outside. And so, again, but that happens 99.99% of the time where I live. So, um, so what I'm going to be talking about today is keeping the commandments of Jesus. And a lot of people get this confused because, they think just obeying the laws of Moses and stuff and things like that, they get confused what the commandments really mean. They get it confused what commandments they are to obey and stuff like that. And they get confused what the greatest commandments are and things. And so just remember, guys, that we need to keep the commandments of Jesus. So a lot of people just abide under the laws of Moses, which is good. That's okay. But what they don't realize is they just want to, most people just want to stay in that old law because they haven't been born again yet. Jesus' teachings is too hard for them. Jesus' commandments are too hard for them because they just don't want to follow his teachings and they don't want to obey his commandments. And I want to read some scriptures to y'all. John 14:15 says, "If ye love me, keep my commandments." And John 15:14 says, "Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you." So, guys, we have to remember that if we love Jesus, if we say we love him so much, we're going to keep his commandments. We're going to obey his teachings, and we're going to do what he wants us to do, no matter the cost. So, that's really what being followers of Jesus Christ is serving him and loving him and believing in him for who he truly is. And so there are some commandments that I want to read to you guys. These are the commandments of Jesus. These are what you need to follow. These are the commandments that Jesus has given you. And I may or may not have stole this from the web, but I already knew, but I just needed word for word. I'm not sure what version of the Bible this is, but whatever. Love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, pray for them that despitefully use you and persecute you. The first commandment of all, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one God. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might, and all thy strength. This is the first and greatest commandment. The second is like unto it, Thou shalt love your neighbor as thyself. By these commandments hang all the laws and the prophets. So, this is why people don't really want to follow Jesus. They don't want to obey his commandments. They don't want to love their enemies. They don't want to bless those that curse them. They don't want to do good to people that hate them or persecute them or despitefully use them. And they don't want to obey the Lord. They don't want to love the Lord with all their heart, their soul, their might, their strength. They want to do what they want to do. And they don't want to love their neighbor as themselves. They want to be selfish. This is why a lot of people are not of Jesus, because they don't obey his commandments because it's too hard for them, or they just don't want to do it. And guys, we have to obey the teachings of Jesus. The disciples gave up everything they had. Like, they were fishermen and stuff. They just went their own way and fished, and they left their families and their wives to go and follow Jesus. They left everything. They forsaked everything to follow Jesus. And that's how we have to be. We have to be willing to obey Jesus' commandments. We have to be willing to love him and obey him. But obviously, it could be different for everyone. You don't have to leave like your families that love Jesus. I've already made a video on that. But yeah, so they left everything to follow the Lord. And that's how we have to be. We have to be willing to give up absolutely anything and everything to follow him. And that's the attitude we have to have. And if we don't have that attitude, we're not going to be able to enter into heaven. If we don't love Jesus with all of our hearts, we're not going to make it into heaven, guys. We have to obey Jesus. We have to keep his commandments. And love him and serve him and obey him with a true heart, not just out of fear of going to hell, but loving him and obeying his commandments. And that's the only way you're going to be able to make it into heaven. And I think I've done a video similar to this, but this is very important. We have to remember to obey the teachings of Jesus, just as the disciples did. And we have to be like Jesus' disciples, because that's what we are. We're followers of Jesus, not followers of men. We're followers of Jesus. And don't go listening to men's commandments and all of the laws of Moses. And Paul, the one thing that stands out to me about Paul is Paul really had the revelation that Jesus put an end. Jesus put an end to the law, to the Old Testament laws. Jesus put an end to that. You know, he fulfilled it. He fulfilled the law. And we don't need to be bound by the law any longer. We're under grace. We're not under the law. You know, we're under the teachings of Jesus, the commandments of Jesus. And that's why some of the other apostles kind of had a conflict with Paul, because Paul believed that we're not under the law anymore. You know, we don't have to go by circumcision, Sabbath, and all this and that. We rest in the Lord every day. He believed that, you know, we didn't have to go by all of these rituals that the Jews did back then. He believed that we obey the teachings of Jesus, and that's how we have to believe. But eventually, of course, obviously the other apostles did agree with Paul. But, you know, that's just something we have to remember, guys, is to obey the teachings of Jesus, and not just the Old Testament laws, because those can't get us into heaven. Like the Jews, I know that there are some born-again Jews that, but a lot of them don't believe in the Torah. They believe in the Old Testament and the laws and how the Pharisees and scribes did, but they don't obey the teachings of Jesus. You know why? Because they don't even believe Jesus even has came yet. So, guys, we have to, of course, believe that Jesus is real. But, of course, we have to obey his commandments and keep his sayings. And who cares if the world hates us? Start following Jesus and obeying him today. I love you guys. Have a good day. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and Jesus bless you. Bye-bye.